Hi guys, welcome to my very first YouTube video. I am so excited and so nervous for this because again, I've never made a YouTube video before. I've only ever made a few videos on TikTok, so this is the very first time I'm making something this long. So, bear with me guys, bear with me. Anyways, to start off, I thought we'll talk about oh yeah, my name. See, I told you guys I don't know what I'm doing. I'm Chi and my username across all platforms is Chi Loves Drama because I love drama. So what else could the username be right now? Anyways, some of you may know me on TikTok, whatever. You can also find me on TikTok. I'm not really on Instagram right now, but that might be coming in the future. We'll see. But anyways, back to YouTube. Let's talk about Pursuit of Jade. I feel like this is the first time this year we've all been watching the exact same drama. So let's talk about it. I read the book, so a lot of people were asking me what are the differences. Because I started talking about the drama when it started getting shot because I'd read the book. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm excited about this. The people have been asking me, what are the differences? What did you like? What didn't you like? So I thought, you know what? What better way to start YouTube than to talk about this? So let's talk about Pursuit of Jade. I feel like I don't even need to introduce it, but let's just do it for fun anyway. Pursuit of Jade, starring Zhang Lihe and Tian Shui, is a historical Chinese drama. It's 40 episodes. It's mainly, I'd say the plot is around war, history, romance. There's politics in there. There's also like family dynamics in there. So it's very interesting. It's got a little bit of everything in there. So makes a great drama. So let's just get into it. The book is called Ju, and it's around 150 chapters. So I don't know how often you guys like to read, but it's not that long. It's not as long as other historical dramas have been, but it's also not as short as some modern books are. So let's just get into it. The very first thing that we can just get out of the way, because this has been a topic of conversation that a lot of people have asked me about, and that is the topic between our male lead Shi Zheng and our female lead's little sister Chang Ning. Because everyone's like, what are they like in the book? I heard there were changes. So the big change, I feel like I've seen some people say he hated her in the book. But I don't think he hated her. I think the big difference is he was very indifferent. Like our male lead, he spent a lot of the time in the military. He's surrounded by war stuff, politics. He's never really been around children. And now he's living in this house with this child. And he's like, well, what do I do with this child? It's there all the time. So I feel like he doesn't really hate the child. He's just like, doesn't know what to do with this child. This child is just there. So a lot of it is just him being indifferent, like, okay, we both exist in the same house, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, which is very, very different to the book, to the drama, because in the drama we do see how close they are, like she calls him brother-in-law, they even have like their little own thing going on, and he protects her, he plays with her. So I'd say the very big difference that a lot of people have been asking about. So yeah, the relationship is quite different. Like I very much prefer the drama version. Actually, I think I'm gonna talk more about initially what I preferred in the drama version, and then we'll talk about what I didn't like that much. So that was the first thing. The second thing, I think it's how much we see the Princess Royal and Gong Soon in the drama, because I feel like in the book they don't really have that much of a presence. We see them once in a while. They were not a big focus as much as they were in the drama. And I think, especially because, well, in the book, we do see their romance. Like at the end, we kind of find out they have feelings for each other. And it's like, well, okay, good for them, I guess. But I think they changed that in the drama. They gave them more of a plot. We got to see them more. And I think it's really nice since they decided to make them a couple for us to see more of them. So, for example, that whole battle scene where Chang Yu goes to find Yan Zheng, and she's in the military camp, and the Princess Royal is there and she's like healing people. that's not her in the book. In the book, it's just some random little girl that Changyu meets and who treats Changyu, and she doesn't really have like a backstory or any that many lines. But they changed that, and I think initially, guys, I'm gonna be so honest. I did not care much for the romance between Gongsun and the princess. It was cute. Did I need it? Like, if it wasn't there, would it have changed anything for me? I don't think so. It was nice that they added them and they gave them lines. Like, good for them, but I can't say it did anything for me. Like, I would have been fine if it wasn't there. But I do feel like they were funny. And the big difference between the princess's character in the book and in the drama is that in the drama, obviously, I've already said we see more of her and she plays medic and everything. I feel like in the book, her most prominent thing is that she kind of gives intel to our male lead, Xi Zhang. Like, she sends him letters and she gives him notes, like, about things that are happening in the palace. And we see that bit when the imperial edict comes and he's like, the ear thing. She's the one who sent him a note prior to that in the book saying, hey, this is what the emperor is planning to get us to get married. So that's sort of her role. She was just kind of somebody who passed notes to our male lead. Like, we don't actually really see much of her. So the storyline that they gave her didn't really exist much in the book. And another thing that I liked was, in talks of addition of characters, the pig squad. Do you know what? I actually, at first, I was like, okay, where is this gonna go? Because again, they're not really in the book. I don't think we see them anymore after we left that little village. So when they appeared in the drama, I was like, oh, where are we going with this? But I think I liked them in the end, and I think they really provided Chang Yu with like support because Amel Lead has all those generals that he's been training with all that time and all in the military. And Chang Yu, else would she have? Because, in the military, there wasn't that many women. So she needed friends. And I think them coming along on the journey with her, it was really cute. It really gave support. And I think they gave so much the comedic relief because they were really funny and the dynamic was really cute. And when they all became a family, I started calling her sister. That was really heartwarming. I actually very much enjoyed their addition into that. And then now let's talk about the things that I didn't like. So that I didn't like them, it's just that I preferred how they were done in the book. And the main one, Changyu's training arc. I think in the drama they showcased her strength so well, and she learned quickly, but I feel like it just kind of felt like she was a superhero. Like, she was born with all these powers and she didn't need to train. She didn't need any like direction or anything, any pointers. To just did whatever. And on one hand that is nice, but I just feel like, considering in the book she actually has a training arc, I would have liked to see that. It didn't even have to be long, because in the book you do see her training with other people in the military. She even goes hunting, and there's this whole thing where she gains a reputation because she like hunts this massive bear and everything. So I feel like I would have liked to see more of her training arc, just see her doing other things to kind of see how she's getting these skills, because we already know she's strong. We already know she has some background in martial arts from when her dad taught her. But it's like, how do you actually fight in the military? I would have loved to see more of that. And then this one is probably maybe going to upset a few people. I didn't like any of the scenes with Chimin and Chan Chan. I didn't need that. I think, do you know what? I think they tried to make it look a bit more romantic than it needed to look. Considering the whole relationship is basically non consensual, I didn't need it to be shot that way. Um, because if we're being honest, like, I saw so many videos of people being like, oh, the bath scene, and it's just, for me, I skipped all of that, like tap 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 all the way to the end. Like, I didn't want to see that because I just knew she didn't want to be there. I could never enjoy it knowing that she doesn't want to be there. She's doing this basically for survival, because ever since she rescued him, he's not let her go. He doesn't love her. He's obsessed with her, and she wants her freedom. So any of the scenes, no matter what was going on between them, I just felt disgusted. That's genuinely the plain truth. I just felt disgusted. I'm like, I don't want to be here. She doesn't want to be there. I don't want to be there. Why are we both here? But anyways, we move on. At least she's free at the end. Another thing. Now, this one, this is okay. Bear with me. This is gonna be a bit of a long explanation. And this is a two-part thing, right? So how Chang Yu finds out about her parents and leading on to Xi Zheng being whipped by Wei Yan, her uncle. It's very done differently in the book. So that General He, I don't know how to really pronounce that one. I'm so sorry. He basically tells Chang Yu that, you know, he was a general with her father, and he gives her all the like details, and she even asks some questions. But obviously in the drama it was a letter, but in the book he actually like told her the whole story himself. She asked questions and this whole thing happened, right? And Xi Zheng overhears this conversation. Now, at this point, he already knew bits and pieces, but this just kind of ties everything together. And he's leaving her, and she sort of runs after him, and she's like, you know, I will have all the answers. We will be together. And he's like, I can't be with you. Like, this is my father is dead because of your father, essentially. Like, what will my ancestors think? How will I face my parents in the afterlife if I'm with you? And she's like, that's not the real truth. There has to be more to the story. I will dig up everything and we'll be together. You know, she swears she'll get him back. And he leaves, but he has this like moment of realization on the way back to his camp, because at this point they're in different camps, right? All the way back to his military, he's basically battling himself, like, can I be with her? I want to be with her, but what will my parents think? And all the way till he gets there, and then he decides, you know what, I don't care, you know, I need to be with her, I can't live without her. And he goes all the way to his ancestral home where his parents are buried and everything. He goes there, and that 108 lashes that he gets from his uncle in the drama, he gets them from somebody from his dad's side of the family, because he's basically going against his dad, you know, and his ancestors. Like, so he gets this 108 lashes, and he's like, you know, it's his atonement that he has to be with her and he has to disappoint his parents. And I just feel like it was a bit more impactful for me, because it's from his dad's side. He's basically in a way betraying his dad, which is something that was very important to him. But getting the lashes from Wei Yan as a way of just cutting ties, I feel like for me that could have been kept out, because we know that there's different ways people have done that in different dramas of like cutting ties. Like, he could have just walked away, because at this point there wasn't really much left between him and Wei Yan anyway. So I feel like, yeah, the scene is just there, but it really didn't do much for me. And then I'm just gonna do random little stuff that were changed in the drama to the book, from the book. Yeah, the Emperor, he was really funny in the drama. Um, Everything was a little joke. Like, he was very, don't even know how to describe him. Like, he was just there. That man did not know his right to for him from his left, and I just think that was really funny. But that was a change, because in the book, as much as he is still Wei Yan's puppet, he was a bit more calculative. He was more aware of what was going on than in the drama, and he did try to plot more with Minister Lee and trying to be free from Wei Yan, but it just never worked out because it basically has the same fate in the drama and in the book. And another thing is there were quite a few characters who were merged. Like for example, Lord Lee. I'm forgetting what his name was. Like Lord Lee, and he was in the drama. Two characters who were put together because when he becomes a general and he was also like a student to General Her, that's not real in the book. That's somebody else. So Lord Lee and another general were basically made into one person for this drama. And I don't really know how I feel about it because I feel like I didn't really miss much from the other guy. And so it's just random, but it's just a change that I found very interesting. And then my final thoughts on the drama. It was a good drama overall. I don't know what I would score it yet. I feel like my scorings are always better after I've like rewatched something. But I don't know when I'm gonna rewatch this because so far I haven't felt the urge. Like I feel like I finished the drama and then I was like, oh, okay. Well, what else can I watch now? So maybe that's my review. Like it was a good drama. Um, Nothing to write home about. So yeah, those are my thoughts so far.